Alright, maybe it's just me, but this episode of SAO definitely feels very different from the Sword Art Online we've come to know. It just felt pretty freaking different. It felt a lot more edgier, a little bit darker, and overall, up until the very end, we had just characters we've never really seen before. We only had glimpses and little previews of, so definitely as far as like comparing it to anything prior to this, it felt very different. It's like you have this girl that she's a sniper. I believe her name is Shinon, or Shinon, something along the lines of that. Shinon, I believe. And so far, she seems like in the game, she's pretty badass, but very quiet. But in real life, when we get that little glimpse of her, like, coming out of the game, it looks like she's really obsessed with Gale Online and getting stronger in Gale Online. And I'm curious if that's a side effect that a lot of these people are obtaining from playing these games so much that when they come back to the reality, it's almost like coming off of a drug. You know, you come down from that high and you're like, oh, I need the high. So I'm curious if that's any correlation to that. But overall, this episode, it was a good episode, and I'm really liking, and I think a lot of people as well that have problems with the original SAO are going to like the direction that this new SAO, Gale Online, SAO 2, is taking. The approach that it's taking feels edgier, feels grittier. It doesn't feel like just non-stop lovey-dovey. It's still keeping small elements of that, but that was mostly at the end of this episode where you get that. But for the most part, it's really taking a different approach, and I think a lot of people can enjoy that, and a lot of people are going to be like, maybe I could change my mind about SAO and not completely hate it. This episode is definitely showing Shinon in her finest and really building up this character, because she is a new character. So I think what they're trying to do is say, okay, this is a new character. She's going to be a main character. We're going to show you why she's awesome. We're going to show you why she's good at this game, what she can do. And overall, we're going to try to make you like her. And so far, she needs a little bit more personality, I feel. She feels very, like, socially off, so to speak, because she's just there, like, not saying much. And when the guy's trying to holler at her, she's like, I don't know. I got things to do in the real world. Bitch, you ain't doing shit. You hopping right back on Gale Online. And she's seemingly one of the most badass snipers in all of Gale Online. So definitely it's building her up that she's going to be ferocious competition for not only everyone in Gale Online, but when Kirito comes in there, I'd imagine there's going to be some sort of square off before maybe they become comrades, so to speak. And as far as art and animation goes, 10 out of 10 in that category. It just blew my mind away at how well the art and animation was when she was flipping backwards, when she took that dude out, the way they did those scenes. The director and the art and animation for this particular episode, bro, keep it up. Keep it up, because that was just incredibly gorgeous and amazing. Like, I cannot praise the animation and art enough, because it was just absolutely beautiful. Probably one of the best animated episodes I've seen this season so far, because it was just gorgeous in that action scene. They went all in, and it's slowly building onto the mystery of this Death Gun guy. And you can see that she's very perceptive regarding different things, because she was like, yo, let's go after the guy in the cloak first. She can definitely see things that other people can, as far as like, he seems, you know, weird and awkward. I could feel something about him. Maybe we should go after him. So definitely, as far as a valuable player, she's proved herself. And we already know Kirito's like a god at games. He's like the fucking Yugi Moto of Sword Art Online. So when he comes in there, he's going to automatically be beast. But at least we have somebody that has proved how fucking epic they are. Not by just randomly jumping out of nowhere, but this girl practically lives this shit. The end of the episode, I was like, okay, yeah, we need to see Kirito. And I was looking forward to seeing what's, you know, next for Kirito. I was like, Sugu, really? I mean, it was Lifa, but, you know, Sugu, what? At least she wasn't that much, you know, on Oni-chan, because for the most part, I think they're trying to downplay that aspect of things. Like, as far as last week's episode, yeah, she's still watching his girls, probably sniffing them and shit. But in this one, it was more so her friends that were, like, bitching and butthurt about Kirito and Asuna being in love and lovey-dovey. So they downplayed it a bit, although she did sigh at the end, and it's like, at least they're downplaying it, so it's not completely, oh, Oni-chan, please recognize me, senpai. That totally wasn't awkward, was it? And it's set up for Kirito to basically say next week's episode, Asuna, I'm going to Gale Online. You want to come with me? Fine. If you don't, fuck off. And from the previews I've seen, I believe I've seen that pink-haired girl that was with Lifa. And I'm guessing that she's going to be one of the people that want to go, because I'm thinking that maybe Asuna's going to chicken out and be like, you know what, I don't want to risk it, but if you want to do this and this is something, I'll support you from behind the scenes, so to speak. And Lifa, he'll probably say, yo, little sis, I don't want you coming. I don't need you sniffing my ass while I'm trying to fight up in there. So I'm guessing maybe the pink-haired girl will volunteer, and after everything, she'll probably get in with him, or maybe she'll sneak in with him. Who the fuck knows? But I believe the pink-haired girl, from what I've seen in the previews and everything, she seems like she's going to be prevalent enough, so she'll make it in there one way or another. And overall, this was a pretty good episode. I mean, like, I'm really enjoying and appreciating the direction that they're taking, and not just completely making it a love fest. Like, I'm one that I like the fact that this is one of the rare instances where the main character is a couple with the girl that he likes, so in that aspect I'm cool with it. And they're much more downplaying it. It was literally only at like the last 3 or 4 minutes that we see some of that shit. So in that aspect, good shit. Hopefully, and I'm fingers crossed because it could go downhill even next episode, hopefully they continue the way they did most of this episode. The majority of the shit, it was dark, gritty, suspenseful, and a good approach at doing something different to make people remember, oh shit, this is how Sword Art Online started. This is what I wanted to see. Oh, and the pacing as well, real quick, I want to mention. Good pacing, too. For the most part, the entire episode was just really building up this character, Shinon, and why you should like her. So, I'm liking that the pacing didn't automatically have Kirito jump in there and, like, kill the fucking headmaster or some shit. So, keeping the pacing at a good speed as well. They're realizing their mistakes, and I'm really appreciating that A1 Pictures realized the mistakes that they made. They did this with Magi, and then Kingdom of Magic, the pacing and everything was fixed and everything, and now they're doing the same with SAO. They realized, we fucked up with the pacing. Let's stop that bullshit. So overall, solid, good episode. I'm going to give this one 7.5 out of 10. It's really going in a good direction. It was mostly set up and build up for this character, but I'm liking the way it's going. And I think that if it continues this route, we might get something along the lines of what Sword Art Online Season 1 should have been. Hell, if it's well received enough, maybe they'll remake the original. One can hope, right? But let me know what you think first of all. What do you think about Shinon? Are you put off or on to the fact that she's actually going to be a main character and we're getting new characters and Lifa and all of them are seemingly being downplayed? Also, what do you think about the environment of Gale Online? A lot darker and grittier than Alfheim or even Aincrad for that matter. And just your overall thoughts of the episode. It was an orgasm to the eyes at the very least. But that's all I have for this review. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed, you can do so as well. That would be awesome. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.